Hello, everyone.
Why are you so excited?
I don't know. Why are you not excited?
I gotta laugh to not cry after the way the ending went in that game.
What do you mean? I left at the 89th minute to come down here.
I mean, even if you left in the 89th minute, you're still pretty disappointed in the way that game was going.
What happened?
Well, we played okay in the first half.
But before we get too into it, thank you guys for joining our instant reaction post-game show here on 110 Football's YouTube channel. Feel free to interact with us in the little comment section, either on one side, I don't know which side.
Pull up a chair, maybe lay on the couch, like as if we're your therapist.
Yeah,
and this is your place to vent today. I think there's going to be a lot of venting in there.
We're going to talk it out. We're going to hash it out. We're going to talk it out. First things first.
Yeah.
After this result, we were kind of climbing up the standings. Now let's just take a look at the team standings. Hey, oof. Yes.
At least they put 10 on the page like I asked for.
At least we're still above Vancouver.
Yeah, I mean, there's still some games to play in the weekend, so that's not great.
So ninth, how many games into the season are we?
7.
7 games. -1 goal difference. That doesn't scream LAFC.
Yeah, none of it's where you expect to be. None of it is of the standard that LAFC has carried throughout its 3+ seasons. The only thing you can take from it is, yeah, you're just 9th. I mean, it could be worse.
You could be Vancouver.
You could be Vancouver, and there's still a lot of season to go. But
it's not good.
It's not good. But again, there's a lot of season to go. Look. You don't look at this table the way you do when you're watching teams in Europe, and you'd say, look, there's no chance of getting into the top 4. There's still plenty of time to play. You want to be in those top 7, and then you get in the playoffs, and there's one-offs.
Do you think LAFC are still top 3 contenders?
At the moment, no.
No?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I mean, unless you're doing the MLS
power rankings, we're going to be shot up to second after this result.
Let's be legit. Let's just say what it is. This team is very inconsistent right now. There's flashes of brilliance. They have yet to put a 90-minute performance together, and they still find ways to lose games they shouldn't lose.
So, as you guys know, we do this bit in the show where we give our headlines, our stock falling, and our stock rising. So I feel like we should just get into it, and then we can talk about reasons why we picked that. So Vince, what is your headline for today?
My headline is who is at the wheel. Like, because right now I just see a team that I don't understand who's carrying them forward. I know that you go up 1 goal, NYCFC makes a lot of changes. You give up a goal after being kind of on the back foot. Where's the thrust forward? And honestly, that was a goal that just kind of came out of nothing. You made a mistake. Oddly enough, Marc-Anthony Kaye actually made a really good play to win that ball back.
Correct.
But then did what he's told to do, which is try to play out the back. And it just wasn't the right moment.
I mean, you've got to ask the questions on why do LAFC players insist, and Bob Bradley insists on continuing to play it out from the back when you're under pressure, 3 guys on you, just clear it to the sidelines.
But I would disagree in the fact that you play out the back when you can. He could have made that pass, actually, if he would have been a little bit sharper. But I would say he would probably watch that back and tell them, no, this is not a moment to play out the back. And not every single moment. There was plenty of clearances. There was plenty of times when Murillo and Segura cleared the ball. So why wouldn't that have been one of those moments? I think he just got in his mind that they could still control it. And just 2 yards from your goal line with everything that's going on, yeah. Maybe you just got to think that's not a time to control. That's a time to get it out, reset. You can but maybe they were on the back foot for that little bit after the changes. He was just trying to stem the tide, trying to do a little too much.
On the bright side, I'm still the undisputed king of players to watch. We'll get into that a bit later. My headline...
Some people would say you're the harbinger of doom, and everyone that you pick is Doom's LAFC.
I'm like, I don't like that. My headline...
Best reaction. I just don't like that.
I just don't like that. Doesn't feel good.
Yeah, give me your headline. I'll react.
My headline would be still not convinced. I talked to the defenders of the bank about this after the Colorado match. On paper, 2-1, not the best match, but is LAFC back? The hype train that we were talking about, is LAFC back? It
left the station, but there was a hill right there, and it fell off.
After that Colorado game, yes, we won somewhat convincingly. I wasn't. Oh, see, they're not having too good of a time. If you can hear that car alarm in the back, but like I said, I wasn't convinced after that Colorado win that this was the LAFC that we know and love. Earlier on in the season, We were saying, don't get worried. You know, we've lost a couple games, drawn a couple games, but, you know, Carlos was out. Diego Rossi was out. A large chunk of the core of the team was injured. Now we play Colorado, not a convincing 2-1 win over the Colorado side. That isn't the best.
Right.
And
No,
then-
I still
and-
think they're a good team.
They are a good team in all fairness, but still. Historically, LAFC should be beating Colorado much easier. But then switch gears to NYCFC. NYCFC down 10 men in the last 5 minutes of the game. They somehow find a winner.
Yeah.
And before the match, I was like, LAFC, they have their full-strength starting lineup. I was excited. I predicted them to win 5-0.
Yeah, you got high on your own supply.
I got high on my own supply. But, you know, like I said, I was on the hype train, full-strength team. We're going to see the LAFC we know and love today. It's time, you know? Colorado game, everyone was back, kind of getting back from injury. Now we're good. And just to lose 2-1 against a 10-man NYCFC, just not good enough. I'm still not convinced that this is a top 3, top 4, top 5 team.
Well, that's my frustration. I mean, I agree with you that after that Colorado game, some people were getting too far ahead of themselves. But I saw a lot of nice things, and I was like, well, we can do incremental, rises in form. And I thought to start the game that they were pretty good. That NYCFC team was sitting back very deep.
A lot.
And was just basically saying, look, we've got 3 good attackers. If they can figure something out, we'll take it. LAFC found a way to break through, and you think, all right, we're moving on up. We're just keep going. I think we moved up to 4th in the standings, had the results held. But it's just so disappointing, like I said, to lose a match like that. That's just the craziest way to lose a match.
Well, we've had this conversation before, and I had this conversation earlier today. It's that LAFC needs to use the momentum in their favor. Too many times do they score and then kind of lose focus a bit.
Yeah.
They need to be able to use momentum to keep pressuring, keep scoring. Anyway, we did a poll on Twitter.
Yeah?
Is that how you
Is
say
that how
it?
you say it in Canadian?
Twitter. A stock rising poll. So check it out. Here is the poll. The stock rising was pregame. Which player do you think will have the best performance today? And the majority of people picked Carlos Vela.
That was the safe choice. I'm surprised there was no other. Obviously,
other,
that was a safe
0%.
choice. Look, I rewatched that ball that Sean Johnson gifted to Carlos Vela. It looked a little bit harder, but you would say this: just shoot it. You're Carlos Vela. Just try it.
Just shoot it.
Just try it. It was kind of off to the side, but look, he's got such a way about him that he can make things out of nothing. Just shoot it.
To your point, just shoot it. I wrote this note to LAFC while the game was going on. Dear LAFC,
Okay.
stop being the team that tries to walk the ball in the back of the net. If the goal is open, shoot. You might score. Sincerely, Connor John Colopsis.
Yeah, but the first goal, they practically did walk it into the net.
I know.
14 passes to create that goal.
But there's a healthy mix, Vince.
There is.
There's the tactical makeup of walking the ball back in the net, the Barca style of play we know and love. But then, at some points, if the goal's open, just shoot. You can't score if you don't shoot.
Carlos disappeared a little bit in the match, but also I would say there were a lot of moments where they just didn't find him.
We'll get to him. Going to our stock rising, Vince. If there's any bright spots today, what? If there's any,
Gets me every time.
especially on a loss. What is your stock rising today?
My stock rising today would have been Tristan Blackman.
Okay.
I actually thought Tristan was very good.
Would have been.
His understanding. Well, he still is, I guess. I'm just so disappointed
Okay.
in the way the game went. I thought we were just nixing all stock risings.
Okay.
But I thought his ability to control transition, his understanding with Carlos Vela, when to be wide, when to be central, he had some good recoveries, just made some plays. Again, I think there's a what's lacking here, some guys that just break from the norm and just make some plays.
Yep.
Maybe get out of the mold and understand that this now is not the moment to follow what they've been trying to tell you, what the system has been trying to tell you. Now is the moment to just make a play. Tristan did that a couple times, and I really liked that about him. I wish there was more guys doing stuff like that out there in this match.
Agreed. I think Tristan had a great game. Cheeky had a better game. Hashtag still not convinced.
A better game for him.
For him. Hashtag still not convinced in terms of Cheeky. But my stock rising would be Corey Baird.
Baird. You stock rising Connor being able to say his name correctly.
No, I think. Sorry, I had a little voice crack.
Yeah, it's been a tough day for all of us.
It's a really tough day for everyone here at the office. But Corey Baird has really proven himself to be a starter on this team.
Yeah.
I know coming into the season that's what he was going to be.
A lot of people were worried, like, but how is he going to score goals?
Going from Brian Rodriguez to Corey Baird. The question of, do we need a number 9? Corey has consistently been there to finish chances. You know, sometimes when I see him scoring these easy tap-ins, it gives me flashbacks of when Christian Ramirez would miss open goals, and then I'm like, thank God we have Corey Baird there to kind of make sure those balls go in the back of the net. You know, for me, he's been the player of the season 7 games in. He's proven that with Brian Rodriguez gone, this team can still be the attacking threat that it is, but still not convinced with the entire team. But Corey Baird, my man of the match and my player of the season so far.
He's really embraced the role that he has.
And he's embraced the team. You know, he scores a goal, he goes celebrates with the 32-50 too.
He does. I mean, and they love him because every time, I feel like he has to get subbed out late most games because he just leaves everything out there. I mean, he's
drained.
hyped, man. He's drained after every match. He's running everywhere. So he's embraced that role of pressing everywhere, and he's getting rewarded with these goals, which doesn't always happen. I would say even if he wasn't scoring, he would still be very happy with the role that he's playing because he just loves being a part of a team that's dynamic, that wants to press, that allows him to run. And it's been really good to see him.
The team that's good?
Still probably better than RSL. Maybe not in the long run.
We need Ruben.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Pass.
Yeah. Pass.
Pass.
On that point, stock falling, Vince. What is your sore spot? That's the feeling I got all. No, my Max Bartos impression for the day.
Yeah. My stock falling is closing out games.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know how many times I can say, like, how can you find a more bizarre way to lose a match? You know, you give up that goal, and that's a bad goal, but then just never stepped it back up. Even when you went up a man, you just really didn't step it back up. You almost get gifted the goal to go ahead. You can't find that, and then just fall apart.
It felt like when NYCFC went down a man, we were on the back foot.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. I thought that we went down a man for a second.
They really rallied together, and we just simply did not pick it up a level.
Why does that happen, Vince?
Do you got enough time? How long are we going to be here today? I don't think we're going to. Yeah, that's a full therapy session. You know, one of the reasons why that happens is because guys are putting their heads down and not accepting responsibility. That's for one.
Got it.
Did that scare you there?
It scared me a little bit. I do need a long therapy session right now.
Yeah, you probably do. You look a little sad.
My stock falling would be, as much as I hate to say this, Carlos Vela.
Okay.
I don't think this means that, just a disclaimer for all our viewers watching, this does not mean I think he's bad. I still think he's the best player by far on the team.
I'll tell you what, even if you were to go on this air and go, Carlos Vela's bad, no one would believe you.
No one would believe me.
But I do agree a little bit with this. He looked a little tired, right?
For our captain, for the highest paid player in the league, he kind of was in that, I forget the NYCFC player who's on at left back this game, but he was in his pocket.
Chanot was out there.
Chanot.
They were playing center. They were playing a 3-back,
or the left wing back, or whoever it was. But Carlos Vela just unidentified NYCFC player. Carlos Vela just did not look himself today. He wasn't finding the spaces. He wasn't finding the chances. And when he did have chances, he didn't look sharp. Yes, we can dwell on that one fatal error. Fatal?
I don't know if it was fatal. Again, fatal. Harder than it looked, but he should have just shot
Harder than it looked, but for a player of his caliber, that should be in the back of the net, no questions asked.
Right.
That should never happen.
Yeah, it was bizarre.
Well, what happened was Rossi was on his side. He saw him, didn't realize that the New York City FC player was going to cut off the pass.
Yeah.
And I mean, in all fairness, it was a great job by the NYCFC defender.
Yeah, good recovery.
But come on, Carlos.
Yeah.
This may be because he's back from injury, but, you know, if he played like he did against Colorado, there should be no reason he played like he did today.
Well, look, the Carlos Vela that punished mistakes of Club America scores that goal, right?
Yeah.
So, I was surprised he went 90 minutes. I think it was just the game state, and he didn't have a lot to do in the second half. I actually didn't have a ton to do in the first half just because they dominated so much of the ball. But by the end of that match, he was gassed, absolutely gassed.
You know, if anything, I hope this international break coming up really gets Carlos Vela to the level he was last year and the year before. We need the Carlos Vela that we saw in 2019.
I think this team is going to
No.
have to just spend some time together and really stitch themselves
Maybe
together.
go on like a beach vacation.
Yeah, maybe a bowling or something. I
Bowling?
mean, it's honestly
mini golf, putt putt.
It looks just a little disjointed, and guys don't seem to be all on the same page.
Well, to your point earlier, you said that who's leading this team? Carlos Vela is our captain, but by the looks of it, the team didn't seem to rally together when we needed it the most.
Yep.
And that's why I think NYCFC, who wanted the result more than anything, got the result. It's
Yeah.
because LAFC just didn't want it.
Well, you got to pick up your teammate. Look, in that moment when Mark, like I said, he made actually a good play, then makes an error. Man, go pick up your teammate. Push that a little bit harder. It's only 1-1. You've been doing so well in the game. NYCFC had to change formation and to throw 4 different guys on to really push this game to even get close to your goal. And then basically they're only able to score because you hand them the ball.
Correct.
18 or 20 yards from goal. Man, you got to look at yourselves and say, look, guys, we never should have been in this position. Let's pick each other up. Let's go. Let's turn it back around. Let's press. Let's get back in their faces and just. It wasn't there. The belief isn't there right now because, to your point, they're not all the way back. You're not totally convinced. They don't seem totally convinced.
And really quickly, a bonus stock falling. The midfield,
Bonus stock falling.
Bonus stock falling. The midfield trio. I gotta say it. I think Cifuentes this season has not been himself. Latif, I can't say he's played one good game this season. Edward Atuesta, who's been probably one of the better players this season, did not have a good game today. And then Mark Anthony Kaye, too many errors at his level. To not just the one that led to the goal, but in the attacking third, just losing the ball in silly positions.
See, I don't totally agree. Look, this midfield trio, their job is to go out there, to press, to create chances, to be dynamic, to be adventurous, to be courageous. So when Mark is giving the ball away in the offensive half, that's kind of what he's not told to give the ball away, but he's told to be progressive, to be dynamic. And I thought actually he had a really good game until the air. I will say that his form definitely dropped after the air. His head dropped. Yeah. There was a ball that came to him just after that, and it was almost like he just wanted to kick the ball away and walk off the field for a second there. And he can't do that. He knows well enough that there's going to be ups and downs in this game, especially within a match, that he can take himself up to that next level. Atuesta, I thought, was okay. Sifu grew into the game. There was too many balls that he probably could have collected, probably could have touched a little bit easier that popped up on him. I'll agree on that. Latif, maybe he's just not used to this sub role. I'm not trying to make excuses for all them. There's just too fine of a point sometimes that people are trying to put on these guys. Maybe because, to your point, we're used to 2019 and them flying around.
Course.
But I would say even in 2019, they just had the benefit of a few bounces going their way that maybe changed your viewpoint on them at the end of games.
I think what it comes down to is, you said this in the pregame show, control. I'm all for the midfield, the trio, to be progressive. But if they aren't able to control and lock down that central midfield when it matters, there's no point in being progressive.
I would say for 60 minutes that they did, though. I really would. There was points in the first half where they were passing from half space to half space, like 20 yards in front of NYCFC's goal. It was great. But I will agree with you. There was a significant drop right about the time that NYCFC made all their changes and that put LAFC on the back foot. Then you give up a stupid goal, and then you really never recover.
Pain. As the cool
just
kids
pain,
say.
And I hate to break it to you, there's 2 weeks off now. So you know what? A team could take that either way. 2 weeks off, you band together, you got the time to work on things, you got the time to get healthy. Sometimes, though, man, you'd wish you could just have another game in 3 days and go out there
and just hammer them.
Yeah, kick the hell out of another team, run rampant over them, and just put that out of the back of your mind. This is one that they're going to have to stew over, and I guarantee you those film sessions the next couple of days, they're going to be long.
They're going to be very long. So, unfortunately, LAFC fell 2-1 to NYCFC. It was a great day, though, I will say. Otherwise,
it was a beautiful day outside. We got to watch football inside the stadium. We got to watch the Champions League. We got to wear these gorgeous kits.
So thank you guys so much for watching. FYI for everyone following 110 Football, we will be off for the next 2 days during the international break.
Next 2 weeks.
Next 2 weeks.
As I say, you said 2 weeks,
2
bro.
days.
I'm taking 2 weeks.
Only 2. June 18th will be our next show. So thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, hopefully next time we're here, it'll be a little bit better of a result.
Hopefully we got it all back together.
Full bank next time we're here. We love you guys.
Can't wait to see you guys here.
Bye-bye. I'll go cry now.